Yeah, life giver and keeper of life. Blessed love. And we definitely give thanks for the life giver and the keeper of life. Blessed love to each and everyone in the midst of us at this moment. I welcome you into the Tiger's Nest, not officially the Shock of the Hour radio program. This is exclusively a presentation for the YouTube, for the Facebook, wherever else it will be seen. Of course, you know the Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. Definitely, it is a Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge presentation. And I'm very thankful that you have taken the time to come and sit and sup with us even for this moment as we are, you know, looking into the upcoming period of the Bobo Shanti New Year, which is the 7th of February, and of course, going into the Lenten period as well. So first of all, let me say, give thanks for your presence as we glorify the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie the first in all doings and saying. He is the father of creation. Give thanks for 1930 being the 2nd of November, where the king and the empress was coronated. So we are thankful for such an order that has even come forward from Ethiopia in the presence of the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards, the Black Christ in flesh, who brings this order of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Church of True Divine Salvation Order, which we speak of as the Bobo Shanti order, such an order of Melchizedek, the Sabbath order, keeping the principles of such a day and the human order in reality. But this evening here, I want to, as I said, touch upon the period coming in, the Lenten period. There are many ones who ask from time to time, you know, information as it relates to the Lent. I'm really hoping I'll be reaching out, as I always do, to members of this Congress to come and sup and sit with us, even during that time, to give a word of strength, to ones, especially young ones, and even if they're not that young as far as age, but ones who are definitely seeking to get a better meditation as it relates to this order and even that time of the Lenten period. Also, before I even go there, there's something important I would like to touch upon as it relates to a previous video that I did. This specific video was the video directly dealing with the eating of fish. And there's something that I would like to say about that video in relation to this Congress as well, being this Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. And even before that, I would like to say blessed love to a good brother there. And I never met the brother. I know not the brother. I've never had even a conversation with the brother, but yet still I'm saying blessed love to the brother, one Ras Extra, Ras Extra from the Sky Media Productions. Yes, Sky Media Productions, the one Ras Extra. It is his sound that you were hearing just a moment ago, and what the brother has been doing for the last 2 years, I believe. He has been documenting the celebrations that take place at the headquarters of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. That's Bull Bay in Jamaica, 10 miles out of the city. And recently, he definitely appears to have been stepping up the game and constantly releasing, clips of like the previous celebration, the 7th of January. Prior to that, you see also the 2nd of November celebration also, and the 17th of August celebration. The brother has documented these celebrations, and I could obviously see that he has a lot more raw footage and material because he also takes his time to edit it in a way, his own style, obviously, his own style, where he expects that you will be quite pleased with what he's presented. So we give thanks for that as well. So I'm inviting you to go and check his material out, check his channel out, check his works out, all you Bobo Shanti who love Naya Bingi, man, and would like to see the progress and how the celebration is being kept up at the Congress. I'm encouraging you to check Sky Media, ink. I think he has some ink on it. Sky Media Ink, Brother Ras Extra. I know. I don't even have to ask. I know several Shanti I done hold him to that name there. Of course, my lord, extra there I name, my lord. Remember we Bun X now, my lord. No, he's a R man. That's why I refer to him as Ras R man, still him, but in time. So give thanks, my good brother, from my heart personally. Give thanks for that works. That's why we need a government. That's why, well, we have a government, but that's why the government structure is government. Because look at what you're doing. There should be no space whatsoever. It's obvious that you're doing it from your heart. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious that it's something that you love to do. So I wouldn't even worry about that. But there should be no room whatsoever for you to say, well, I'd like to keep doing this, but there's something more important I got to do, because ends have to meet and bread on the table and roof overhead and all of that. I don't know his situation, believe me, I really don't. But I'm just showing us in general that you see a youth with that sort of zeal, that sort of mentality. Take it from me, because I'm speaking for my understanding coming through, that has a certain ability to do certain things. Yeah, we are supposed to be in a position. I know one person, we all are supposed to be in a position to say, hey, make sure this brethren get all the best equipment that he need. Yeah, man. Best camera, best microphone, such and such. The brethren get a stipend just to make sure you come and do the work. Got a government moving. He might say, oh, no, my lord, I don't need no money, my lord. The Congress can afford it, my lord. Hold on. Yeah, I don't have you or your mother, however. This extra thing will work, my lord. They are doing a mighty work for the black Christ in flesh. And that's what a government should be able to do, you know, in general. But we get in there again. So give thanks, my Lord, all powers, and I'm encouraging you, Brother Ras Extra. I'm encouraging you to continue. The next celebration is the 7th of February, my Lord. You know what I'm saying? I mean, once it is in your power that you can, you know, gird your loins, it seems as if you even stay for the 7-night celebration or how many ever nights you stay. Give thanks for the strength going through all powers, you know, in the name of the Black Christ. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. And as I say, the Lent period is coming in, or that, my Lord, that would be a wonderful set of documentation for the catalog, you know. And as I said, it's obvious that you have a certain understanding. Your channel is monetized. Mine isn't. So maybe that's why the word ain't coming out good. You know, my thing with monetizing the channel or whatever the word is that you know, okay, for example, you're listening to me or we're presenting something with a little vibes in it, then all of a sudden something just kick in. This fella without his shirt on talking about, do you want to eat a pizza? Do you want to drink some green juice? And he tell, I prefer eat the pizza because if I drink this, I'm going to be hungry. Yeah, and showing his abs and all of that. I mean, well, he has his time, eh? But his time is not in the middle of what I'm talking about, you know. So, and that's one of the main reasons we don't even look into monetizing or monetizing the channel. You understand? We're not into that, especially for those who want to believe somehow this is a money thing. I don't know what's wrong with people. You know, they should mind your business. Mind your business. Of course, you know, mind your business, for those who don't know, is a program that we are restarting, brand new series. We already have the format for the first 3 programs already. You should be seeing that in the first couple of days. I would admit that I'm not seeing the influx or even the participation from those of you who have businesses, you know, to come and be a part of it. But anyway, I will leave that for another time, although I've designated this program a kind of free program, you know, for us to just kind of have a little vibes, you know, nothing directly on the table except the Lent conversation, but we're just freeing up for the moment. And that's what it is for this time. So let me just leave that for now. Okay, whatever I miss, I'll come back to it. So we did a program on the fish. I'm sure you remember that, about why do Bobo Shanti eat fish, and I put Rasta in bracket too. Now, as I said, these are questions that some of you ask me. Some of you ask me, even when you go through the comments, you see some of the questions. People ask the question, whether I was eating fish or not. That's not the point. The point is that people want to know. You know, maybe you could ask, maybe you could answer the question with a question like, so why you ask? What's wrong with eating fish? And then I'm sure the person that asked the question would say, well, from my understanding, you know, Rastafari don't kill and they don't deal with blood, and you know, they're natural people, they eat from the ground and so on. So and I think personally, me, you know, I think it's a genuine question, especially if the person just don't know. So they ask somebody that know, they just want to know. You know, there was a time when I wanted to know. You know, I don't need to ask now. As you could see, I did a whole program on it. But because I've been asked that question for a long time, I decided to put a program out, and it was a shock of the hour program too, as well. That's another thing. That was a shock of the hour program. It wasn't a YouTube program. It was a shock of the hour program that we decided to take and bring to the international community. in a sense, it was almost a private program, if you want to call it that. Not really private, because it's up to you if you want to hear the shot of the hour. But so now, what really happened? And what I'm going to go into here, this is the Congress I'm speaking to, plus whoever else is listening. And that's one of the things I'm going to address too. There's this concern about things relating to this Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress that seem to get out into the world, the further afield, and one seemed to be concerned about it, including the fish talk, really. Once have been touching me for a while, even when we speak about King Emmanuel Charles Edwards and the dropping of the structure and these things, one's believe we shouldn't speak about that because we don't have a good understanding of it. The 10th of December with the goat and the chicken, people believe we should bring that up because there's not a good understanding with that. So I'm somewhat accustomed to individuals believing that there are things that I should just leave alone in my discussion. All right, good. I'm just letting the audience know for a clear understanding. Now, me personally, I really don't see anything wrong with speaking of a situation that took place in the Congress the 10th of December. I don't see nothing wrong if people want to know where King Emmanuel is now. People ask you that. They have young people that are seeking and reaching out to this faith, and they ask that. What am I supposed to tell them? I ain't gonna make up no fairy tale story. I'm gonna tell them what I know. So I bring that to the forefront in the best way that I think I could. Even prior to the fish program, or at least even prior to the concern about the fish program, there was a concern about something that was said. And this was brought to me by an individual who would have sat in to the parliament meeting of our Congress. I did an interview with the Honorable Prophet Daniel of R7 Productions, Promotions. And well, I think even his ideas were a bit disturbing to some, I could imagine. But still, I don't know why. But I could still imagine. But apparently there's something that I said within that video. I think some described it as maybe I was a bit rude. I don't know if I went on a rant or something in the eyes of some. But I made a point. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because it's what I'm going to show you after this may seem contrary to the point, you know. So anyway, I made a point that, you know, look at me, and I'm paraphrasing me, even my own self. Look at me. I just come and do my program. People tell me they burn reggae music and they burn this, and I always tell people I don't play reggae music. Number one, I don't play. That's first of all. There's no playing going on here. I know exactly what I'm doing. If a person don't understand what I'm doing, that's just them. I'm sorry you don't see what I see, but I know I've been given marching orders from the Most High. I'm very sorry. You got to forgive me, Yeah. So I come to do what I just gotta do. And if you listen properly, man, this ain't no reggae show. How many levels of genre of music you hear? And we still explain with clarity of the origin of them all. And percussions and decibels and the original sounds and the 8 ohms and the Tibetan frequency bowls. We've covered all of this. There's a point I'm trying to make. So we know what we're doing. Just you got a tiger with your brother. I know sometimes it doesn't look like how you think it's supposed to look. But this is why many come and ask, where's King Emmanuel now? Why do Bobo eat fish? What's wrong with reggae music? This and that, you know? And we try our best to answer them all. Sometimes we even point them to other people and they still come back to us. I'm just telling you. So what happened really, and I hope you're in the mood to sit with me, eh? I like to say anybody that is grumbling and says, oh, get to the point. Well, maybe this discussion is not for you. This ain't no get to the point stuff. This is me and my family having a conversation. I mean, if it's YouTube or Facebook you're on, there are millions of other videos, man. You can just, you know what to do. That's all. Right. Serious. I got to tell people that sometime. And they're there. They are there. So I'm saying now that I received a correspondence, I would say, from an honorable priest from the foundation. Now, as I said, even prior to this, one of the concerns was that I said on my program that no one could tell me what to do. Now, in a sense, those were the words, but I did not mean it in the way that ones are portrayed it, meaning as if I'm the big bad wolf and nobody can tell me nothing. No, that was not the point. In fact, the point was made, it's somewhat in defense of the structure of the governance or the government that the Black Christ laid down. In other words, as a government, for example, what I do here, it is not something I consult anyone with. I just do it. Although, I mean, I clearly tell you I get my marching orders from the Most High, but that's just me. That's me. I mean, I might have to prove that to you. But it's not a group of us that sit down and say, well, yeah, Priest Kidemi Shalom Isaac has the right to do X, Y, Z. As I said, or ABC, because I said we born X, isn't it? Extra. So ones would say, okay, for example, if I was to ask to come and do a debate at a college, we'd like you to come and debate the philosophy of Rasta against Christianity, so and so. There's nobody I really have to consult. I just get up and go. That's a big thing. You can't be a part of an organization and just get up and debate people. No, that's not how it goes. There's a chain of command. Not unless I'm bigger than it, but I'm not bigger than King Emmanuel structure. But what has happened is that the structure that the Black Christ has left for us is not as structured as it should be, and that's all. No need to be ashamed. And I can't hide it. How you can hide it and you have me here playing reggae music? So people need to understand why. So no one really can reach out, and then that's another thing. That's another thing. Because when a one stop a one and say, well, you can't do this because, oh, and then you see all sorts of cards come up. No. And that's just the reality of what it is. That's the point I was making when I said what it says. It's not that I'm bigger than anyone or bigger than the whole, I should say. But it's just a case of that's what's going on. So as I said in one of those Lalibela videos, Christmas video, that if anyone within this Congress, because I understood that that came up for strong discussion in a specific gathering of, let's just say, the elite. So I would say that that was not the intention of that comment. I know for sure, I know for sure I did not mean that I'm bigger or better than anyone else. I just meant that this is the state. I even went on to say that I would be happy if someone could say, well, Honorable Priest Isaac, you have to, or we want you to, or whatever the case is. And then I even went to that statement again and said, not anyone, because it's not a one person thing. If you watch the video, good, you hear all of that. It's not a one person thing. It's a parliament, cabinet and committee. That's what it is. All right, good. So, and this is a statement I'm making, so this is why it will take some level of time to. So a few days ago, an honorable priest, the honorable priest, and I will call his name out of full respect, Honorable Priest Joshua reached out to me from the headquarters, our headquarters, again in Jamaica. And again, for those who may not even know what I'm talking, who I'm talking, all of that, believe me, everybody is to hear this. It's a part of the lesson. It's called, you know, internal relationship. And Vaughn Benjamin speak about them things a lot. And communication and dealing with one another, networking and structure. So to me, it's still a good example. Now, Priest Joshua, and this Priest Joshua is Priest Chris, also known as Joshua Nunn. I get the impression there's another Joshua Nunn running around. I don't know fully. But I'm talking about the Honorable Priest Christopher Morant. Priest Joshua, Priest Chris. So the Honorable Priest Joshua reached out to me via a specific network. And he was not too pleased with my presentation directly dealing with the fish. A few things was said in that communication. The conversation was referred to as fishy talk, and it was highlighted when that was said to. And I was asked, you know, to not an order, really. It was just like almost like a level of defense, like when I conducting them talk, try to keep the Congress out of it. Now, he may not know, but that did hit me hard because of the high level of respect that I have for him. A little more was said, but I ain't going to go into all of that. And I'm showing this to everyone for a reason. Now, you see that video too. Let me see, before I go any further too, you see that video. If you observe it well, what it is, basically, a quarter of that video went into actually why Bobo Shanti eat fish, and that is the truth. A quarter of that video actually went into why Bobo Shanti eat fish. And I think I did justice to explain in the same way that a Bobo Shanti that eat fish would explain why they eat fish, straight up. So I don't think I was, you know, wrong in that part of it. I don't think I was wrong at all, but I'm just getting to my point. So, and then the next quarter of that video would have been about, maybe you would say, why I personally do not eat fish. Yeah. And then the next half of the video now, which is the vast majority of the video, maybe it's even a bit more than half, went into the esoterics. Nothing but esoteric. We came, there was a part in that video where I said, we have left Earth now. We're gone. Oxygen mask. When we went into Pisces and the Sumerian gods and the Bozo god and no more, you know, we drop a Vaughn Benjamin that night too. We even drop a Junior E, row fisherman row. Hungry belly there for feed. Night and day they have to eat. But that was when we were talking of the earthly level. But when we went into the heavens now, we dropped the Von Benjamin on you. It wasn't really row no fisherman, but it was no more. No more that the Dogon see. Because the Nomo is the fish god of the Dogon. But anyway, let me not go over that whole lesson again. I'm just giving you an idea of, maybe you never even saw the video or listened to it, of how it was structured. I think I went as far as to show you, man, that I wasn't against nobody. And there was I must say, there was a specific part in my Lord's words to me where he showed me that, you know, the hill loves me, you know, and there's no one up here against me. And I mean, I'm telling you that I felt it. I don't think I ever said anyone was against me, or the hill doesn't love me, but just the fact that he said that, I was like, wow, it was like moving to me. But I think I know why he made that comment, because even in the fish episode, I clearly said that, you know, ones would even say that if you don't eat fish, you'll fight Jah. You're fighting Jah. And the thing is with that, that ain't no hearsay. The person that tell me something, I know exactly who I talking about, where he was when he said it. So it's not like if, and it's and how mystic it is. I'm going to carry it to a next realms. Because I wouldn't call a person's name. I would not call a person's name. But it's a person I haven't seen for so long. And that same day, Honorable Priest Joshua, that same day, the same brother, Ras Extra, put up a video, and there was my Lord sitting on the bench, speaking. Maybe you could sit and figure it out. And of course, it's just full love. But that's what the priest said to I. If you don't eat fish, you fight in Jah. And he didn't say it in no anger. He didn't hate me. It was pure love. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I'm being honest. I just don't want to call his name. I find the calling name thing. I don't want the thing get out of hand. But I know when I talk, I ain't lying about nobody. That priest don't use nothing else but chalice. Okay, I think you might, if you sit it out, you could figure it out. You understand? So, yeah, so that's what he told me. So that's why I relate. People want to know the truth. So if according to that long-standing priest, that if you're not eating fish, you're fighting Jah, I gonna make people know that too. I don't agree with that, but I will let people know. Well, this is what has been said by those who sat with the man. I never sit with him, so maybe I'm missing something. Yeah. So back to the honorable priest now. So I responded to the priest, and as I say, I have high respect, Priest Joshua. Like when you know what I mean, when we first went to Bobo Hill, at that time, Priest Joshua was a young man, already a leading priest himself, Priest Richie. At that time, Priest Garth was Prophet Garth. Priest Donovan was Prophet Donovan. Them time there, you know, these are ones that, from my outlook, even ones like Priest Wayne, you know, Priest Pa, at least from what I witnessed from that time and even returning, these were the young ones that were keeping that thing alive at a specific time, you know. Yeah, from what I would have seen, as I said, the honorable priest quit. So there's a certain level of respect that I have for Priest Joshua. And I know what he said to me wasn't just him saying it to me. It was, I could see it was a collective, because I know, maybe if you didn't eat fish, I fight John. Plus for me now to come down like some battering ram now, because you know, I don't come down easy. No matter how much I might try to put ice in it, it gonna still sound kind of hot. Because it's not me talking, eh? I telling you. So whoever feel it's me say this, and sometimes it ain't really me. It's me, you know, but it ain't really me. Not that I putting it on nobody, because it's I and I. Because it's two, you know, it's individual, eh? Individual, yeah, individual. So I did ask him for a pardon. Remember, this is a Congress, and this ain't me. And of course, I showed, in a sense, defended what I said straight up. But I said, if it was that offensive, my Lord, I would take the video down and I would make a statement. As you can see, these statements does be lengthy sometimes, but when you got something to say, I would make a statement concerning why I took it down. So the honorable priest contacted me again. And he asked me not to take it down. He even said that, you know, he may have been a little bit harsh with I on the far of the subject area. And he even commended the video and said that there's a lot of good information in there. I would expect. I don't think nobody would be that crack in the head to say that there ain't no good information. I mean, come on. The heavens declare the glory. Eh? A man shall come and, anyway, let's not go there. But, let's keep on track. I did tell him that, okay, give thanks. I wouldn't take it down. I'm thankful that you see it that way. But obviously, this would have reached far and wide, not just those at headquarters that would have spoken about it, but all over the world. Eating fish is a big thing within the Congress. I mean, if you go and watch my good brother Ras Extra videos, buckets of fish, and so you see man cleaning, and I mean, but I've already spoken about that. You can go and watch that video again if you want to get into all of that. So, and I will say, this might be a bit touching, where you see that is eating fish is a religion. It's religious. Bobo Shanti, a lot of ones eat fish religiously, and my lord and empresses that do eat fish for whatever reason. I made a statement. I even said this to the good priest. When the honorable priest Morgan, not that priest Morgan, but let's be clear. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and people who we believe walk with Christ. Where we got real Matthews and Marks and Lukes and John now. And just like the Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John in the Bible, I agree. Sometimes their testimony does be a little bit different. Come on, right? Yeah. But at least the framework of the story is correct. I don't expect Honorable Priest Morgan to lie to me. And you got to keep in mind the time frame, very close. Remember, Honorable Priest Morgan, whatever you may have to say. Because I see this is why the name thing, I'm trying to ease off of that. Because I honestly thought I was doing some sort of service to this thing by, you know what I mean, bringing the knowledge I have of it to the wider community. People come to this order because of what they hear me say. I'm telling you straight up. So this is, you know, we should consider this. I don't expect my Lord to tell me no lie. The man said, King Emmanuel say, we have to stop eat fish. And that's just the truth. I wouldn't come and lie. I call his name, man. You know what I mean? Right. But again, I don't want to go back into the subject. And it's not about the subject too, it's about the principle. It's the principle I'm talking about. So even all young ones checking what's going on here, just check the principle. And it's the principle is what I'm dealing with. So it's a touchy situation, it's a touchy subject. Why? Because even things like the Lent coming up, Good Friday, black over white or white. Me personally, to me, that's a big, big issue. Some people will say, oh, well, you know, them things not important. This and read up and read down are important. This is it. Now, I'm not saying you fight a person for what they believe, but that don't make it not important. You understand? In a high-tech professional studio, you have green screen and blue screen behind you. And the green screen make, you put certain pictures up on the background, you know what a green screen is, right? Good. You can't do it with a red screen. No, what? Orange screen or whatever, maroon, whatever, in a professional setting I talk about, not Zoom, not a little what the thing, Skype or some app from a professional setting. The point I'm making is that the color is important. Without the color, you're not going to get the background you want. So it's not that we're trivial about it, It's science we're dealing with. So if good resurrection is either white or black over white, and I think that is something that needs to be straightened out. We get so loose with it that it become all right till someone's even wear red, black, and green over white now for resurrection. And you see, so a little simple thing, but it's very important. It's not trivial. Oh, we have bigger things to deal with than that. Okay, you deal with the bigger things. We're talking about repatriation and so. Nothing wrong. Somebody got to deal with that. But don't fight me because I'm dealing with this. That's the thing. It's a government. You have Minister of Education. You have Minister of Agriculture. You have Minister of State Affairs. You have Minister of Foreign Affairs. Different ministers. You're the Minister of Agriculture, and you see the Minister of Education preaching, teaching. You feel he must drop the book and come pick up the hoe and the fork and dig hole with you. That's how some of us think. So these little things are important. The fish eating is a very important topic. My Lord and Empresses that in this thing for a long time, I'm telling you, please don't duck it. Please don't duck it. Elders know the way, the youth have the strength. They have a lot of youth some of you never see. Some of them wrapping the turban today. They ain't eating no fish. They ain't eating no fish. You can't tell them no story. And let's be straight, rather worse or rather better that they hear Priest Isaac explain his side of the story. They ain't eating no fish. Yeah. And what I think we should consider all the facts and put them together. That's all. Because, for example, like for me, you can't come into my house or any place that I occupy or own with no dead animal. You cannot. I do not care who you are. You can't. You gotta leave that somewhere outside, far outside. It just can't come in. It cannot come in. You cannot be upset with me for that. I have my reasons. In the same way, you can't bring a dead goat in. You can't bring a dead fish in. I'm just saying how I look at that. Just like I smelling chicken frying around me. Maybe as a child I would smell good, but now that is nauseating vomit. That's how fish smell to me. You can't be upset. I mean, I can't change that. It's not like if like I doing something wrong and help me find my way. you know, you know. But what I'm showing you, and I'm showing everyone that just to show where I stand. I don't think I'm harsh by explaining this, but that's where I stand. I'm not going to change. I don't know how, I don't know. I know enough ones not like Bob Marley and all of that, but me tell you, me to know how me and them are going to work this one out. Because to me, that's a very serious thing. Now, as I said, maybe this is what I'm here for. It's very serious. Maybe we need some members of the Congress, even the Honorable Priest Joshua, if possible, whoever. We can do a Zoom interview. I would love that. As much members of this Congress that I could interview, I'd be happy. and you can come and explain why we should eat fish. And I might say, well, you don't have to. But again, my lord and empresses, I'm telling you, ones that don't eat fish can hardly stick around it when it's fried and the rishy smell and all of that. What will you say? Well, these set of ones can't come in the kitchen. I mean, it's a very, I know I sound like I'm carrying it too far, but it's something that we will have to deal with. If you're not maybe because it's just me alone saying it, but the time will come as Bobo Shanti, the youth them rising. Trust me, the youth them love King Emmanuel. They love it. They love this thing. Some of them can't wait till they leave school. They love it. It will, I mean, I'm talking reality. So we got to find some way to deal with it, eh? And other things. There's so many things we have to find a way to deal with that we got to deal with. But as for me, as I said, this is a government. It is the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Church of Salvation. I honestly believe that this Congress is moving on from lowland to highland. And my little understanding of King Emmanuel is that the king continually change. The Lent is coming up. The Lent is going to begin on the 17th of February. And resurrection is the 2nd of April. At this time, one will you will eat no fish during this time. This is for those who need this knowledge now. This is just reality. This is not me now. Any Bobo will tell you that. If any Bobo tell you you can eat fish during Lent, well, he is not a Bobo. Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that, but nothing goes up. I don't think I'm gonna get any five for that one. During Lent, you don't eat fish. I find that quite interesting. Why stop then? But anyway, during Lent, you don't eat fish. In the same manner of the Passover, you don't eat the leavened bread with the rising agent. But now most of us that may be on a certain level of eating, not to say man level higher than nobody, because people funny, oh, you feel, no. But for sure, I bake my own bread. I do not buy bread, and I do not use no raising agent. So that's no grand change for me when the time of Lent comes around. During this time, the Lenten time, you are definitely encouraged to watch what you buy and what you eat, things, too many things in packages, whatever they may be. Package, even if it's health stuff, once it's in a box and come in a bag and in a bottle, and so you should be as much very concerned. Those of us who live in the tropics, I mean, this is the time, this is what it should always be, eh? Because to me, the Lenten time is not really a time of fasting. Some say it's not even, they call it Lent, but just the language, and that's the time. But the 40 days and 40 nights period, which is more than 40 days and 40 nights, to me, is really a time where you return to how you are supposed to eat and how you are supposed to live. So in other words, like I said this a few nights ago on one of the Shock of the Hour programs, I think is the Tim Cat program that was on our radio program, the Shock of the Hour. We were talking about the different types of monks, the Buddhist monk, and even not just Buddhist monks, but the Tibetan ones, those in India, and they have different patterns of eating, but basically they eat once a day. Some of them eat their rice in the morning and that's it till the next morning. The monks in in Waldiba in Ethiopia, they eat 3 in the afternoon and they just eat quaff, banana, which is a green banana, I think dried and made into a paste or something like that. And they eat that every day forever. And they eat once a day forever, not no 40 days and Lent forever. Because, you know, our Lenten period, basically what we call Lent, the 40 days and 40 nights, is really basically, in a nutshell, you just eat once a day. That's really what it is. In a nutshell, you eat once a day. And that's the real fast. That's between 12 and 2 o'clock. From you understand that there's not too much for you know, left for you to gather, just to fine tune a few points. So as I said, these are the things you stay away from during this time. So you should make it as idle as possible. Those of us in the tropics, man, where you may easier get a coconut, break your fast with the coconut and drink that and eat the jelly. For those who are accustomed to buy bottled water and them things, if you have a real spring around you, make the trip, prepare for the Lent, make the trip, get the big 5-gallon bottles, make the trip to the spring. Even if you don't have the spring close to you, the source of the water, make the trip and fill up all your bottles and bring them home so you get fresh water. And they say all the plastic bottle thing is the next level all by itself. But you know, in the ancient days, we would have these clay containers where that would keep the water cool. Because even as Bobo Shanti, a lot of the icy drinks, we're not into that. Or we shouldn't be into that, because I just drink some cold drinks myself sometimes. I just telling you how it goes. But when you use the clay, when you use the clay, what do you call it? The water stays very cool, the clay compartment. So a lot of in these islands, you could get your clay, like the clay that makes the kutchi here. They have, because you get the kutchi at the same place where they make the clay. And even as I'm on that too, these chalices too, the chalice is the best thing for the Lent. And these chalices, we are actually marketing these chalices right now, made by Brother Medi. These are made right here in Antigua. These are made from the coconut shell, the bamboo, and the kutchi. So if you need your chalice, at another time I'll go more into detail, but if you need your chalice, you could just email me and I will hook everything up for you, and you could get your chalice shipped to you. So the price of the full cup, the full chalice would be $70, and that does not include the shipment. So whatever the shipment is, because let me explain this, we're not shipping this regular mail. When you ship regular mail, that is problems. I'm telling you from experience. So it would definitely be either FedEx or DHL, and you could get your chalice. This is what King Emmanuel burned, chalice. You know what I mean? And definitely we would ship that to you straight from Anu, Antigua. So I was saying now, so you full up, so you can contact me. My email, you don't know how it is, priestisaac27@gmail.com, and you could definitely get your chalwa for sure. Now I'm saying that, so you get the clay pots, and you get your water, and you put them in the clay pots, and the water will be cool. Easy, nice and cool to drink, you know what I'm saying? And then now at the same time, you have that throughout the Lent, or you could even revisit the spring midway through the Lent and, you know, recover water. So instead of buying the regular water that you may have bought all the time, you make a special urge now, a special, you know, to get the real water. The same thing as it relates to, as I said, the thing that you put into your structure, because now you won't be eating as you always eat. If you're eating once a day, you may think you need to stuff your belly with food. No, sometimes you just need a warm sip. That's the best way to break the fast, with a nice warm sip or soup, you know, and maybe you have a little heavier food on the side. Me, when it's time to break the fast, I have to burn chalice and so many different things just to get the physical ready to go into that realms once more again, to eat and then go back into the fasting period. of course, as a woman too, when you are going through your cycle for that 7 day period there of that cycle, you don't fast. So you don't fast. That's not something you keep up. A woman shouldn't be fasting or purposely trying to fast, like fast and pray, because it's a fast and pray thing too. That's where the service come in. It's fasting and praying. And that is why I'm saying it would be so nice that Brother Arman, Brother Extra, number one, would get that Wednesday, what they call the Ash Wednesday service there. And of course that Good Friday, my good brother, if you could get that for us, plus as I said, the Ethiopian New Year. I hope I'm not putting too much on you. So yes, my Lord and Empresses, look forward to the 17th, as I said, of February. That will be the beginning of the Lenten vibes. I promise, as we always do, that we will be doing a few programs during that time, at least to keep ones in a certain level to understand maybe what it is that they really have to do, because ones still have questions as it relates to the Lent and how it's kept and how they should fast and these different things. So I wouldn't go too deep into that now, or should I just give you a quick idea on the different types of fasts? Okay, as I said before, the main fast is something known as a cup fast. Now, the cup fast is really, you break your fast in the tabernacle. A lot of us say we keep the cup fast, but we're not really keeping the cup fast. We may be fasting the time frame of the cup fast, but unless you break the fast mean eat, break the fast. Unless you break the fast in the tabernacle, you're not really keeping the cup fast. So of course, you wake up in the rising of the morning and the service going through in all whites, service, fasting service it is. Um, and the service comes down after morning devotion and of course Psalms reading, morning devotion. The service comes down at 12 midday, and the whole congregation in the church would break the fast within the service. Drink the water, wash your mouth out with the water, I should say, wash your face, drink the water, eat the piece of bread as well, and you've broken the fast officially. And then you come out, and then of course you get your feast wherever feast would be prepared by the royal kitchen. That's in a community level, not by you living by yourself, but in a commune, the feast will be prepared by the royal kitchen, and everyone go and have a jolly good time at their feast, and have a good belch. You maybe have some snacks in your own little place, and you eat up some nuts until you hear the horn, because at 2 o'clock you're gonna hear do 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 do. Fast begin again until 12 midday the next day. Someone keep the article fast. If you could recall, the Honorable Priest Earl, he was one that was saying that that's how he fasts every year. His fast every year is the article fast. And the article fast is where he break the fast at 6 in the evening. I've done that. The first set of fasting I did was that. And I'm telling you, I must say, um, it's because I'm not into the eating in late night now, but I really love when you fast through the whole day. Oh man, that is a fast. So you'd fast through the whole day. You don't eat at midday. You go through the whole day until 6 in the evening. But it's the same 2 hours. And then you begin to fast at 8 again until 6 in the evening again. People like to call it 6 to 6 or mix it up. So this is no 6 to 6. I hear a lot of people with this 6 to 6 talk. I don't know what they're talking about. Them is baby fast. People wake up and drinking tea before the sun come up. You don't break to me, you break the fast there. Waking up and drinking tea is breaking the fast. And you're fast. That means Muslim fast, no disrespect to no Muslim. This is not Ramadan. What I'm saying is no disrespect. No disrespect to any Islam. I'll be very clear. None whatsoever. But I'm just showing my brothers and sisters that that's not how the real fast is the cup fast. What I would suggest, straight up, that, as King Emmanuel said, if you can't take a big bite, take a small bite. So You know, we have a regular Monday, Wednesday fast where we fast until midday. And then that's it. You could do that. If this is the first time you're fasting, that's a good fast for you. That's, to me, that's heavy. If this is the first time you're coming into fasting and you're young and you want to try this, to me, that's heavy stuff. Just do not eat until midday every day until Good Friday and the fast done. Now, of course, fasting, it's not everyone. I'm not going to encourage no one to not eat and then go and do some laborious sort of work or whatever. Maybe I can do it, and I can do it. I can do it, and I would not tell you you shouldn't do it neither, because you got to know yourself. Well, man, I know for sure I can do that. You know, as I said, we've been fasting to sunset for years, different time, and we got to do what we got to do, even in the field, in hot sun. So never faint, never fall down. You know, keep up the strength, and we burn in chalice before we eat any food after 6 too. So what I'm saying, and travel and plane and all sort of things, and yeah, so I know I can do it, and I'm sure many of you can do that. But at the same time, I'm not gonna force that on no one to just get up and say, well, they have to go drive the bus or drive the truck or work the forklift and not eating until midday every day. And this is the first time. I don't know. You gotta know yourself. Watch yourself good. You fasting, keep some ginger close by. Ginger is very good when you're fasting. Any little vibes, you put the ginger in your mouth and you chew that up. It shake you out. You might just have to do that, you know what I mean? Some ginger, very, very good. Um, yeah, some nice lemon water is good too when you break the fast. Not lemonade. Some nice lemon water is good when you break the fast as well. So these are little things. Coconut water again, always good to break the fast. If you could have that close by again, if, just in case you may just can't make it throughout the morning, break a coconut and drink that and eat the flesh. And maybe you could just carry on until the time to eat the heavy food. Don't just throw and say, well, I can't make it. Let me bring the currants roll for me or bring the bun and whatever. No, this is not bun and whatever time at all, at all. This is the fasting time. Again, that's why I say we even fishing, so stay away from them things during the time of the Lenten period. So the Lenten period, the 40 days and 40 nights, again, it will begin the 17th of February, more than likely at just before then, or maybe then, or a little after then, we would definitely do a program. And I'm reaching out to all members of the Congress, man. I mean, I don't want to call no names, man, but I've been trying to touch base with some of you, man. I mean, come on, man. I don't know. I don't think I'm that despised. I would like you all to come and do some interviews with me, speak to the nation. If those who know the way don't come, I gotta tell people what I believe. So please reach out to me. As I said, we ain't have to call no names. Reach out to me, my email, precise27@gmail.com. And let us have a reasoning. Let us have a discussion, even as it relates to the Lent. Let us speak about King Emmanuel. A lot of ones want to know so much more about King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. Yes, I may speak about what I know, but of course, at the same time, they're ones that would have walked with the Black Christ in flesh, who know him personally, specifically, and they're the ones that could really give a better, understanding of who the man is. I'm speaking of the Black Christ in flesh, the Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edwards. So the empresses and the priests, members of the parliament, members of the parliament, because I obviously believe ones would have watched the program. Since ones are not too pleased with what I said, I believe ones would have, watched the Tiger's Nest. So invitation is there. The invitation is there. And just to clear it up still, the impression I got from one who was in the meeting is that it was said that I was invited to the parliament and I said I wasn't coming. I I don't know if that message came exactly how it came, but if that's how it went, I would say that is not exactly the reality of the story. I already mentioned from the previous interview with Brother Prophet Daniel that I was invited. Yes, and that was interesting because at that time there was a specific matter within the family structure that really, I mean, I couldn't even think about anything else beside what was going on. I wouldn't bring that to the world. And from that time, I was never contacted, even around anything dealing with that parliament again. So to say that I said I wasn't coming doesn't really put the right impression. But now I am invited to the world, in front of the world. I am invited all members of this Congress specifically that, you know, have something to add to the upliftment of it to the world. A good word, a good glory, or what a glory, what may say a story, a good glory, a good piece of history, a good piece of culture that we need. Empresses, you know, the empresses are listening, enough daughters listening, you know, priests and prophets, you know, enough young ones coming into this looking for good understanding, freedom, redemption, international repatriation. Give thanks, you know, for all the warriors and the stalwarts and those who specifically keep up this order here within the Congress of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress Church of True Divine Salvation. We're very thankful again for all those who took the time to sup with us this evening. And of course, you know, that we are looking forward to a wonderful new beginning, the new year that is the 7th of February. And my Lord that put this artwork together, I must say I do not have his name at hand, but this is not the last time you'll be seeing this, so I'll make sure I furnish you with his name in due time. But give thanks, my Lord. I really appreciate the artwork. I'm honored. All praises to Emperor Haile Selassie first. Holy Emmanuel Selassie, Jah Rastafari, blaze up the chalice right now. Yeah.